Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. All right, well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast, where we explore the depths of personal healing and empowerment. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we are diving into a deeply resonant topic, finding forgiveness in the midst of betrayal. See, we'll explore what it means to forgive, and not just for those who have wronged us, but for our own peace and healing. And later in the show, I'll share a poignant letter from a listener named Bethany, who's navigating her own path through betrayal and forgiveness. But before we get started, let's take a quick break, all right? It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to transform your pain into power? Join us this September for the 30-day Healing Beyond Betrayal Challenge, From Hurt to Hope. Starting September 1st, embark on a journey of healing and self-discovery. Each day, you'll receive empowering lessons, practical exercises, and supportive community connections, designed to help you overcome the hurt of betrayal and reclaim your joy. Don't let betrayal define your story. It's time to rise, heal, and rebuild a brighter future. Sign up today at theseasonofselflovepodcast.com.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on the website, the Season of Self-Love podcast.com.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Hey, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by. Me and Dr. Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to asknyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. All right, well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and this month's series is all about healing beyond betrayal. And today's topic is finding forgiveness in the midst of betrayal. And earlier this week, we spoke with Dr. Will about betrayal and about betrayal. We did about understanding betrayal. That's what we spoke about actually yesterday. And we heard some amazing things that he was saying from that. But before we get into this topic in hand now, I want to do a nice guided meditation. I want us to center ourselves. So wherever you are, I want you to close your eyes if you can. I want you to take a deep breath in. Hold it. Now gently exhale. And when you exhale, I want you to let go of any tension. Yes, let go of any tension with each breath out. Now I want you to imagine that each inhale, that it brings peace. And with each exhale, it releases the pain. I want you to feel the weight lift from your shoulders and allow yourself for this moment of peace. Now when you are ready, please open your eyes and let's get ready for the topic at hand. All right, my beautiful people, I want to thank you for sharing this moment with me. And if you're new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do every day, Monday through Friday. It's just a short 60-second meditation that we do just to center ourselves and prepare us for the topic at hand. And today, again, the topic is finding forgiveness in the midst of betrayal. All right, so in this first segment, I want to kind of set the stage up in understanding what betrayal is. And I know yesterday we spoke with Dr. Will about understanding betrayal, but again, we're going to speak about this understanding betrayal every day of this series, all right? So betrayal, whether it's from a partner, a friend, or even a colleague, it cuts deep. And it's affecting our trust and our emotional health. But what really is betrayal, right? See, in dealing with betrayal, it's crucial to understand that its deep impact on our spirit and our trust. Betrayal can shake the foundation of our lives, and it can create waves of emotional and psychological turmoil. We talked about it yesterday, about the mental that we have with betrayal and what it can cause. It can be a domino effect, right? But today we're talking about finding the forgiveness in it. So now it's to navigate the waters of forgiveness. It's the true key. And it's not for those who wronged us, but it's for ourselves. So to inspire us, let's reflect on a passage from one of my favorite authors, is Michael A. Singer, in the book Untethered Soul. It says, true spiritual success is surrendering to the flow of life and surrendering to love, to openness, and to ultimately forgiving those who have hurt us. It's about keeping your heart open regardless of the circumstances. And see, and this thought leads us to embracing forgiveness, even when it feels impossible. So what I want to do right now is I want to share this story with you all. And it's just happened not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I was due to go back home for a family reunion. And if you heard any of my story last season, where I talked about some family members had did some things to me that actually threatened my family's safety. As well as there's another situation that a dear family, she was a dear family member to me. And it was revealed to me many times what type of person she was or who she was. Because I don't want to say what type of person she is, because sometimes people go through certain things and sometimes they show up in the way that they are feeling in that moment or in that space, in that season. Does that make sense? So in that season that she was going, and I can say that now because of this book, Untethered Souls. Because of this book, Untethered Souls. Because once I read the book again and I listened to it again, my heart started to soften. And I kind of understood more on what the message means is to stay cracked open. The ever unfolding rose is a message that always came to me. And it's always the message meant to is that it doesn't happen to you, but it happens for you. And I remember listening to the Untethered Soul. I remember the part that I came in on. I hadn't read this book in a while. And I think it was my second time going to read the book. You know how you read a book years ago and then you kind of forget it, because it doesn't really apply to you in that moment. Well, at least you don't think that it applies to you in that moment. But on this particular day, this particular morning, I actually had a dream. And when you're in between that woke and that sleep stage, when you're about to wake up. But when I was about to wake up, I saw this envision of this S. And it was a nice, big, beautiful, shiny, black, shiny S with little diamond crescents all over it. And throughout the morning, I kept thinking, what does this S means to me? What am I'm supposed to get something from this S? Because it was just by itself. It was just like floating there by itself. So I had this, I was out in the back doing my tea time by the pool with my little yogi affirmation or whatever. And I remember as I was filming, I filmed on my phone, it was a notification that it was saying that Shannon Sharp was on there with an interview with LL Cool J. And if anybody a true fan of me, LL Cool J is like my man, my husband in my head. Right. So I was like, okay, well, let me take a listen to this. So maybe this SSS is probably why I should be listening to that, right? To this, right? So I'm listening to it, and LL is talking about spirituality. He was talking about certain things that was truly hitting me. So by this time, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. Matter of fact, I've already dropped the baby off at school while I'm listening to the Shannon Sharp show with LL Cool J. So I come back home. That show is over with. So now I'm putting dishes away and I'm in the kitchen again. And I hear something, another voice to me. And I'm like, what? And it was like surrender. And it was so loud. And I was like, surrender. And I knew that I've already surrendered. This is something that we talk about a lot here and also on Ask Nyomi. So I'm like, okay, surrender. Then I thought about Michael A. Singer. And I kind of like, put me to where, well, hold on. Now, I already read the surrender book several times. So I go, you open up your phone and I go to my Audible. And actually, it was right on there. Matter of fact, let me go back. Matter of fact, I was listening to Gary V. While I was cleaning up, I was listening to Gary V. And within that, it's like it stopped and I heard surrender loud. I heard it loud. And I had to like, huh? What is he talking about surrendering when he's talking about making some money? Oh, you know what I'm saying? So that made me stop that, pause, and go to Untethered Souls was the first one that I saw. And so once I pushed play on that, it went on to the part of us being able to heal and us being able to be in peace. And it was saying that when we are harmed or hurt or by someone, instead of us allowing our heart to stay open, we close our heart up. And when we close our heart up, that builds resentment. It builds turmoil inside of us. So as I'm listening to 7 hours, I'm listening to this actually a few days before I'm getting ready to get on a plane to go back to Chicago. So I'm listening to this, and it's things that he's saying about forgiveness. It's things that he's saying that I already know that, you never know what a person is at that time, but in some part you have to forgive them, not for them, but for yourself, because you're holding on to this toxic feeling that you would never be at peace. Because anytime you hear those people voices, names, or whatever, you get irritated. Now, y'all can tell me that y'all ain't never, somebody undone y'all wrong, and you hear their name and you don't get irritated. That's still giving them power. That's still giving them power. We say, I don't want to talk to them. No, they can't come over here. No, they can't do that. You still giving them power. They still knows that whatever that they did, that interrupted your spirit. It interrupted your peace that you've been seeking for and that you've been living in. And when I was hearing that from him and it was talking, I thought about a situation that had just happened during that week. There was a family member, a loved one, and we have We had been close for many years, but she had given me signs. There were different signs from that of her situation that in that moment we actually outlived each other's seasons, but we were still in that season with each other. We were creating our own season that was becoming toxic. Now, I'm going to be honest, not on my end, but on her end. And when it kept being revealed to me, I kept allowing myself to get slapped with betrayal. Does that make sense? So, when they first show you who they are, that's hey. But not me. I was giving that person the benefit of the doubt because what I was doing, it was the love and it was the loyalty to family that I had there first off. But then the last thing that she did to me, I felt that it was unforgivable. I felt like it was unforgivable because I knew the way that she came at me, it wasn't warranted, and she was completely wrong. And then I know you say, it ain't about who wrong or right. You know what? You're right. But she was wrong. All across the board from it. And she has sent me a DM. Now, I blocked her on everything but her professional page. And that's because I forgot about it. So she was able to reach me through that message. And I read her message. And she was reaching out to me. And y'all know what I did? And this is before this happened. This is before the day that I blocked her. I think that I did. She had a chance. She had her chance. That is what I was saying. She had her chance. So I blocked her. And then a few days later, this is when I was listening to Untethered Soul. And I said, wow, you know what? I should have responded. I should have responded, and I should have given that opportunity for her to come and speak her piece. Because the thing is, and this is my mess up right here that I can own. I knew she was going through something. But I allowed my pride and my ego to get in the way that I just blocked her off completely. So instead of me just saying, okay, I'm going to move over here for a little bit and I'm going to let her do her thing and fester until because she is a good person. She just had some shit going on. And I was one of the ones that she thought that she could be able to spill it on. Because I've always been that person that you can come sit at my house and you can tell your story. And I will be there with you without judgment. But when she questioned my character, that hurt my spirit and my soul. So for that, I felt I couldn't forgive her. And she went a little further. She did some other stuff that I thought was very uncalled for. But then when I was listening to Michael A. Singer in this book, Untethered Soul, it was just like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But not only was it for that, but also it was preparing me to go home. Because there is a situation where some more family members have put my family in jeopardy. Has stalked me, had did everything. And these people, I've never done anything wrong to them. Never, ever. But then as I was still listening to Michael A. Singer, I said, you know what? All of this, everything that I said from the young lady that I was talking with, the family member, to these other family members, even though it felt like it happened to me, but what it did, it happened for me, meaning that I knew that it was not about me. See, now we can go back to the book of the 4 agreements. I couldn't take it personal because it wasn't about me. This was them and what they were going through. And they took it out on me. And I know y'all would say, well, Nyomi, why they take it out on you? Hey, that's none of my business. The only thing that I'm doing for myself in that situation is I'm learning what's the gift. What's the gift in that? And you ask, what's the gift in that? The gift in that is not only learning the forgiveness for them, but also the forgiveness for myself. Knowing and understand that there will be people that I will come to that's strangers to me. And I will have to be compassionate, empathetic to them. Because everybody has a story. Everybody is in a situation. Now you think if family members can do that to you, so can strangers. But what it did is it allowed me to continue to keep my heart open, because I understand what God has given for me and what he told me to do. And me forgiving someone is not that letting them get away with it. No. It continued to allow me to grow. Because now I know who they are, meaning that I know that they're hurt. They won't be there always. Hopefully they won't be there always. That's the gift that I got. I got that gift for me. So this very series that we're talking about, Healing Beyond Betrayal, that I can sit here and talk to you about that. That it wasn't just the infidelity from other things, that I can talk to you about other betrayal. That's another gift that I found from this. And also the gift is that, okay, I only can go this far with this person. I can still love them, but I don't have to go into the next season with them. But also it gives me, okay, signs and red flags so I can see from others. Does that make sense, y'all? But I just wanted, I don't know it went too long, but I wanted to just share that story with you guys, why I had wanted to talk a little bit about Untethered Souls. And it's actually a phenomenal book. Like I said, I've read it twice already. Of course, I probably down the line, a month or so from now, I'll probably read it again. Because I know what my ultimate, I know what I want. I want peace and happiness. And I want to show or inspire and encourage other people for healing and peace and happiness. All right, so let's go. Let's talk about. I got a letter from a viewer, from a listener, excuse me, and her name is Bethany. All right, so in a letter that Bethany, she recently faced a profound betrayal, and she writes, "Dear Nyomi, 6 months ago, I discovered that my husband and my best friend was having an affair. It felt like my whole world was crumbled. I struggled with trust ever since. So through therapy and a lot of self-reflection, I started to heal. But I'm learning to trust in small steps, focusing on loving myself more each day." You see, Bethany's story is one of immense pain, but also of courage as she takes steps towards healing. And like many of us, Bethany's journey reflects on a tumultuous path to rediscovering trust, and not just in others, but in herself. Tomorrow, I'm going to have an amazing guest on, Miss Melissa Van Muser. If you're listening to this podcast in real time now, this is months and months and years ago. It's an amazing episode that's coming, that you will hear. And she actually went through several different betrayals, but she was able to make her pain into purpose. And when you hear her story and her becoming more of a betrayal counselor and healing through betrayal, she was a great fit for this series right here. But let me get up. But Bethany, baby, I want to thank you for your story. And you're not alone in this journey. Sharing our stories can be very powerful, a very powerful way to connect and heal from anyone else who's experiencing similar feelings. So remember, it's all about taking one step at a time. All right. All right. So let me say this. On the 1st of September, we started a Hurt to Hope 30-day challenge. So if you haven't signed up already, please do. It's free. It doesn't cost a thing. 30 days. Every day I put up a different video with a different prompt or something to do. And if you haven't started already, you can always go back. The good thing about this Hurt to Hope is that it doesn't have to be a 1-month thing. You could continue to go through that challenge. You might do it this month and then decide 3 or 4 months down the line to do it again. You understand? That's one thing is what I like about the challenges that I create. It's just not a one-time thing that you could keep recycling it over and over and over again. Because as I always say, we are always and forever healing. If anything, it can to reignite what you forgot or tap you on your shoulder or something like that to push you forward, okay? All right, so in this segment, we're talking about healing beyond betrayal. So in this segment, we will discuss strategies for finding forgiveness, not just for others, but crucially for ourselves. This is the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we're talking about loving ourselves. And one of the biggest things that we don't do is we don't forgive ourselves, that we are very hard on ourselves. So for us to be able to forgive someone else, we have to forgive ourselves, right? See, forgiving oneself is often the first step to healing from betrayal. So now I'm going to talk about an ebook that I have right now. It's newly fresh. I just wrote it. It's out there right now. And I actually wrote it to accompany with this series right now. And the book is called Healing Beyond the Betrayal, A Journey of Growth, Empowerment, and Renewal. And I want to talk briefly about chapter 4. So if you don't have this ebook, go get it right now. You can go to the Season of Self-Love podcast, hit that, pick it up. If you're listening to this in real time right now, it's a nice sales price right now. But it goes right along with it. I have it's 55 pages, 55 incredible pages of me speaking, me telling my story about betrayal and how I got through with it, as well as strategies that I have, and a nice little worksheet with different things that you can do in it. But on this chapter, chapter 4, is focusing on cultivating self-compassion. And in this chapter, we discuss the importance for forgiving yourself and practicing self-compassion after experiencing betrayal. So let me share a strategy and a brief exercise from that chapter, okay? You see, self-compassion exercise, we're going to do this. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine you are speaking to a friend who has experienced what you have. So that friend is telling you a story of the betrayal that you can resonate with, right? So what compassionate advice would you give them? Think about that. Now turn that advice towards yourself. You see? Now with the worksheet and the practices, this is one of them. What this one do, it will guide you through steps to acknowledge your feelings and also to validate your experience. And if you are listening, that's good, you can listen. But also we have a Patreon where you can now watch. You can watch. I will actually put what the page looked like right here. So you can see it in real time here. And you can, kind of decide if you want to go pick up the book or not. All right. But also, again, it's for you to acknowledge your feelings, to validate your experience. And it's a gentle shift towards a more compassionate self-view. Again, this is one of the worksheets. You see, these tools are designed to help you to rebuild your sense of self and nurture a compassionate heart. All right, my beautiful people. So again, it's time to find the forgiveness beyond the betrayal, in the midst of the betrayal. Why the betrayal is going on. But y'all understand what I'm saying, all right? All right, my beautiful people, as we wrap today's episode, I want you to remember that the power of self-compassion and forgiveness in the healing journey. For more in-depth guidance, I encourage you to explore chapter 4 on the Healing Beyond Betrayal workbook, A Journey of Growth, Empowerment, and Renewal. It is an ebook and a workbook, like I said, 55 pages filled with worksheet pages and dialogue strategies, and all of that good stuff, as well as we're going to have an amazing guest this month. A lot of them that they all will be on the website. And even through blogs. Every day we're blogging. Every day I'm blogging. And so within that blog, there will be links to them to help, as well as, we got Dr. Will here that's always standing by and always looking to help anyone that's looking to better their life, as well as myself. I have a nice one-on-one package for you going through just your self-love journey, transitioning to wherever you transitioning from, and just to help you to better, to assist you into better loving yourself. All right. Again, my beautiful people, I thank you for joining me today on this journey towards healing, because it's very important, and know that you are not alone. So I want you to stay tuned for our next episode, and I want you to remember to treat yourself with the same compassion you will offer to a dear friend. Don't forget to follow us on all our social medias and join our Facebook group. All right. So until next time, I want you to keep embracing self-love. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today, and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.